What say, do buckaroos? How the heck are you? I am the whiskey whisper. Although my first cocktail doesn't have whiskey in it, right now I'm gonna have a couple cocktails with you. Let me fix something real fast. I don't know what's going on with the Instagram algorithm because this is the second time that's happened to me. Where I posted a picture of a drink, and they somehow picked it up as sexual content. And the only thing I can figure out is the word cocktail. I don't know if that I don't know if having the word cocktail in there is screwing them all up. I don't know. I- so I redid it and sent it again. Well, last time I got locked out of Facebook for like 3 hours. So I don't know. There we go. Get that fixed. And we're back in business. Haven't had a good dirty in a while, and I've been really wanting a classic vodka dirty martini. I picked up this, rather inexpensive vodka from Trader Joe's. I imagine it's not top of the line, but it's not going to be well vodka either. Trader Joe's Versatile Spirit Vodka, distilled from grapes. It's at 80 proof. This vodka makes its presence known in a prescribed manner. Careful distillation creates, let's see, clean, bright spirit, it says. Anyway, at 80 proof, let me show that to you. So I've got a couple ounces of the vodka. I've got about an ounce of the olive juice and two tipsy blue cheese olives and cilantro. Oh gosh, that's not bad. I didn't try it. I typically try the spirit first. I didn't try the vodka first. Very clean, no burn whatsoever. I typically pick up a good vodka or two from some of the distilleries I get to, but I didn't this time. I did pick up a couple of gins, but which is a new revelation for me. I didn't used to buy gins, but now I did pick up a couple of gins while we were out, but I didn't pick up any vodka. So I wanted to grab this one from Trader Joe's, so at least I had one in the house. Because although I am a whiskey guy, sometimes just a dirty martini just sounds good. Just hits the spot. It's clean. It's refreshing. It's a good before dinner cocktail. Had myself a good dirty martini at Kevin out on the river at the Bally's in Evansville when we were there. They call it their 007 martini. My only issue with that is they used absolute vodka, and if you've ever watched a classic Bond movie, well, especially the first Bond, always uses Stoli. So I don't know why they don't, but nevertheless, nevertheless, I mean, if you're gonna call it a 007 martini, you gotta use Stoli, man. I'm real dumb. Boy, that's delicious. I got this good and cold, which is how you want this particular cocktail. A Manhattan, an old fashioned. You want nice and chill. The Manhattan, especially, want nice and chill, but doesn't need to necessarily be ice cold nor stay that way. But a vodka martini or any martini, really, you really need that, ice cold. There is that argument of shaken or stirred. Of course, James Bond always says shaken, not stirred. Remember a line from The West Wing. The Martin Sheen character, President Bartlett, wasn't a fan of James Bond, and he went on this one rant about the shaken, not stir. So he's ordering a weak drink and he's being snooty about it. It's not necessarily wrong, but here's the thing: you're using a gin martini. The idea is to get it cold more carefully, which is why you use that spoon, that special spoon, to get it stirred up quickly. But you are going to get it colder faster by shaking. So an argument could be made that slower process is going to give you a more diluted cocktail than shaking it, which could be breaking some ice. And a lot of that just depends on what ice you're starting with and your shaking method. A lot of folks want to shake hard up and down. And if you shake gentle side to side, you're going to get to that process a little quicker, which is how I do mine. So I typically do mine shaken at home, but sometimes, in fact, this one is stirred, it's not shaken. But I do usually get my shaker out. This is nice. I'm going to have to try some of this vodka straight up, just out of curiosity. I did have it in the freezer. That's the difference. Whereas if you're making a Manhattan, obviously your bourbon or rye should never be in the freezer. So you've got to get it cold. But here, if you're already starting with a cold spirits, you don't have to be quite as rigorous, right? If you're not pulling it from a bar shelf at home, I have this already cold, so it's easy to make an ice cold martini. The only thing I'm trying to get cold here is my olive juice, which my olives were in the fridge, so it's not a doesn't take long to get that to this temp because it's already cold. It's already refrigerator cold. And I don't know if anybody's going to like this technique or despise it, but there are times I also freeze my olives so they sort of act like ice cubes in the cocktail. Here are my thoughts on that. If it's your cocktail and you're making it at home, make it any way you damn please. And nobody should be a snob about that because they don't. That's always my response. Well, you don't have to drink it. If you're not drinking it, you really have no opinion or no opinion that matters. Let's say that. Yeah, I don't care what you do to your own liquor at your house. That I don't give a rat's ass about. You want to take $100 bourbon and put soda pop in it? Hey, man, I ain't stopping you. But if I'm offering you a good pour, don't you dare even think about putting soda pop in it, because then we're gonna have an issue. Anyway, sláinte. Okay, I've got to step off camera for a second. Couple minutes probably by the time I walk my ass to the kitchen and get back here. I'll be right back with cocktail number two. Oh, baby, that's why. Real, real. Oh, baby, that is why. All right, so this is a yet unnamed cocktail. Not always great about naming cocktails. So if you've got any ideas, throw them at me. But nevertheless, here's what I have here. And if the folks at Echo Spirits want to steal this, by all means, do what you got to do. I don't care. This is Echo Spirits. I really liked Echo Spirits, by the way. This is their maple finished rye whiskey. This one's at 121 proof. It is serious rye, man. It is fine for a cocktail. It is, but even at this proof, it drinks neat extremely well. Barrel finish series. So here's what I did. I've got 2 ounces of this rye. I picked up this coffee liqueur from King and Dane, made from cold brew. It is out of Toledo, Ohio. I think I got this at a Trader Joe's there in Ohio, but in Columbus, but I don't remember 100% where I picked this one up, to be honest. But I'm pretty sure. So anyway, I've got 2 ounces of that rye. I've got 1 ounce of this coffee liqueur, and I've got just the just a touch, maybe a quarter ounce, probably not even that, to be honest with you, of some bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. And not really sure what to use for a garnish. I just use a little bit of a cinnamon stick because I figured it would work. Like I said, folks at Echo Spirits, you want to try this, you want to keep it, name it whatever you want. You don't even have to give me credit. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't have that kind of ego, man. Oh my God, that's delicious. I will pat myself on the back though when I hit a home run. This is really good, man. My wife found these glasses. They're a friend just said they're a hollow stem coupe, but I had that cinnamon stick down there. When I pulled that cinnamon stick, the product went down that stem. I just think they're neat looking glasses, man. They're elegant. They're very elegant, especially for a old fat clod stomper like me. What are you doing with elegant? Elegant would not be a word we'd use to describe. But I do like glassware. Glassware is kind of my thing. And my wife will complain about the amount of glassware I have, and it is rather extensive for a poor folk. But then she will enable me. She goes to thrift stores. She'll find some of these finds like this. Some of this stuff seems like it's rare glassware. She'll find stuff like this, and oh my God, that's amazing. So she'll complain from time to time about the amount that I have, but then she enables me. That's delicious. I'm not a big coffee liqueur guy as a whole, but it's good to have one around. I'd been looking at buying one from different places, and then when I found that one at the Trader Joe's being an Ohio product, I thought, oh, okay, what the hell? Let's pick it up. But with the rye, the maple, it's like a breakfast, breakfast something. I don't know. And I wasn't sure where to go with the garnish. To be honest with you, I figured, oh, let's just put a little cinnamon stick in there just for fun. I've got cocktail cherries I could have put in there. When all else fails, use a cocktail cherry. If you have no idea, I'll just drop a cherry in there. It's a garnish. But for this, I gotta think of a name. I was thinking breakfast Manhattan, but it doesn't have the vermouth. Not really a Manhattan, but with the coffee liqueur and the rye, with the maple. But I really wasn't sure. So if you folks at Echo got any ideas, by all means. An eye opener or something. I was trying to think of something clever, like a breakfast something, but I couldn't come up with anything. Maybe I'll come up with something after I drink this. Maybe this will get something going up there. But it really is tasty, though. I really like that rye, though. That rye is something special. Is you get a hint of maple, and I've added a little bit of that barrel aged maple syrup in there. Again, just a little bit. I mean, it wasn't even quite a quarter ounce, but it was just a little bit in there. And then I used about an ounce of that coffee liqueur because you can't taste that. I figured I would need a full ounce to break through that big cask rye, but typically a rye this good, you don't think about cocktailing, but it just works so amazingly well. Like I said, it drinks amazing neat. It really does. It just cocktails so well. I can't help myself sometimes. And I love a cocktail like this that doesn't employ the simple syrups like say or sugar like an old fashioned does. I'm using the rye and the coffee liqueur, and I just added a little bit of that maple. So that's the only non-alcoholic product going on here. So again, I've got even with my garnish, I've got 4 ingredients, and that's how I like my cocktails, about 4 ingredient max. Man, that really is good. That is wow, remarkably easy to drink, man. For the proof on that rye, yeah, that goes down easy, baby. I mean, you don't typically think of a drink like this as a breakfast or even brunch drink. But boy, it would work perfect with that. Be great at brunch with some waffles and some sausage, some biscuits and gravy. It's delicious, man. It would definitely start your day out right. I tell you that right now. You cannot be in a bad mood after having one of these, man. You're probably not going to be productive the rest of the day, but you're going to feel good about it. I guarantee you will be very agreeable the rest of the damn day. That ain't no joke. This is delicious. I don't know that it needed the maple, but since it's a maple whiskey, I wanted to add just a little bit of that barrel aged maple to add just a hint of extra sweetness in there. But the truth is, it's not very sweet. Some might want more in there, but for me, it's absolutely perfect. And I keep going back to how remarkably approachable this particular rye is. Let me show you this. I have a honey barrel rye or honey barrel bourbon rather from Echo Spirits that I bottled myself, man. I really did. I bottled it myself. But I'm waiting on I need a special occasion to open that one or where I'm around some friends that I can share with. But anyway, um I bought this one on the first day we were in Columbus, so I brought this up to our hotel room. So I was making cocktails with this. So I've been making cocktails with this for well about 3 weeks now. Maple finished rye whiskey from Echo Spirits. I really had a great time at Echo. I started with a flight there, and there was the bartender there, and then there was someone else there. I didn't realize they worked there at first, but then I saw them doing some other things around the place, getting some things ready. And I guess they're the person that does the tours and that kind of thing. And about an hour later than I was there, they were doing a thing where they can fill their own bottle. He says it costs $80 to do that. You get he gives you the kind of the tour, the background, and then you get to fill your bottle. He said, but since you're not going to be here for that, if you'd like to do that anyway, I mean, I just charge you 65. The bottle of whiskey itself is $65. They charge 80 for the whole experience. But he was just going to charge me for the price of the whiskey since I wasn't doing the whole thing. And I said, yeah. Because I was in a good mood. It was the first day. Well, it wasn't the first day of our vacation. It was the first day we were in Columbus. We hadn't even checked into our hotel yet at this point. And I felt like, in all honesty, this guy was doing everything that I would do had I been in his position, right from where I work. If I had experience like that, and somebody from out of town, that's exactly what I would have done. And I felt like it was a cask honey barrel whiskey. I think it's at 109 proof. I don't remember exactly now, but I felt like 65 wasn't unreasonable for a bottle of whiskey, a small distillery bottle, and I got to fill it myself. You know what I got to do? He actually filmed it for me, so I have the video of. But I mean, so you put the bottle in there. He gives you the bottle. You put the bottle there. And there's a little lever there. You put it down. The whiskey fills. It stops by itself. Then you put it up. I mean, that's the extent of it. I mean, it's about 30 seconds, right? But being a whiskey geek, a beer geek as well. But yeah, I mean, it was real. I got to do it myself. I filled my own damn bottle. And then they give you the stuff. You write your own label. Well, they have theirs, the label. It says Echo Spirits, but it doesn't have any of this on it, right? So you got to write yourself, and put your own description and stuff on the side. That was pretty neat, man. It was a great first day in Columbus because I got to do all that. And then the next place I went to was High Bank Distillery from there, and I do have some product from them as well, but I haven't opened that yet. And I ordered a flight from them. It was a younger bartender, and she says, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a bartender." So I explained what I do, and I formulate our cocktails. She started telling me about the cocktails that she puts together, and she does this thing on the side where she does like these pop up things with different cocktails. So we were, it was interesting. Not that we were sharing recipes per se, but we're different ideas that she does and I do. It was nice talking to somebody of a younger generation with their perspective on it, and I think she enjoyed talking to me with my perspective as well. Apparently, Fernet is very popular in Columbus. I'm not real familiar with it, to be honest with you. But apparently, there's a drink that uses Fernet and Campari. They call it Ferrari, which is real popular. But yeah, I'm a bit of a whiskey purist, so it's not a cocktail I would probably enjoy. But I thought it was interesting. I tried to all along the way, the different places I went to. I didn't want to steal anybody's idea, right? I'm not going to look at the recipe, so okay, I'm going to bring that one back with me. But I was looking at ideas to how each place perceived different cocktails, classic, how they changed classic cocktails, how they invented their own. Mercy. I'm going to pull my garnish out so I can finish this cocktail without the cinnamon stick blocking that hole, man. It is interesting. You can see that there. I really like that glass. It's interesting, though. It is elegant, isn't it? Even when I'm old, even with you, Tom, it's still elegant. At least the cocktail, anyway. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist. Oh, God, it's delicious. That really is good. This cocktail. I got to figure out a name because it's certainly one I'd want to keep around. I can even change the whiskey, yeah, but I like the idea of the maple barrel with the coffee. That's why I was trying to come up with like a breakfast or brunch kind of name for it, with the maple with the coffee kind of thing going on in the syrup. Anyway, bring it back, Tom. I'm the whiskey whisper, whiskey evangelist, perfect whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Sláinte. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.